Come on. Okay, I'm Geodav, and here we are in UDK number 11 2012. Okay, the reason why I say make a point of the actual version of UDK is because we used Apex, well, the physics lab with Apex 1.21, which is the newest version, and it will only import into the November 2012 version of UDK. If you got a version that's before that, like I said in the physics lab video, you'll have to use 1.1, physics lab 1.1. Okay, so right, I've already got my package set up. Test. These are the ones that I tried earlier. Yeah. Alright, just go on to import wherever you've saved your Apex packages. Number 2, as you saw in the videos, import them. Oh, yeah, fine. Okay, there we go. Do I really need to put a material on them? Well, as you can see here, just looking at it, the one that I used the slice mode on in, well, let me just see if I follow that materials. There we go. Alright, just double click on it and you'll get the materials properties come up, and we'll just copy. There we go. Fracture materials, you really want to play with them? Not at the moment, because that is more to do with the effects when it fractures. Okay, sort of like dust particles, that sort of thing. Okay, so we'll just play with the normal materials there. Let's get back in here. Now, as I started to mention, you'll notice here the amount of chunks and the levels of damage. Okay, that one which I done earlier has 938 chunks and 3 levels of damage. And you're like, oops. You start putting a lot of these into your game and you could have a lot of lag, because that's a lot of chunks. Right, there's another one that I done. And as you can see, these all look exactly the same, because they pretty much are. Well, that's the one. I'll just go, once we've got the materials applied here. Now, I'll give you a word of warning. Let me just open this up again. If for whatever reasons you've got 2 materials showing up here when you think you've only got 1, that's because you haven't applied the material to the inner faces in Physics Lab. Okay, now if you want a different material for the inner one, then you just load the material blah 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 and apply it as the inner one. Okay, smashing. Now let me just get my right, there's the 2 that I made earlier. That's number 1 and 2. Right, if I just sort of try and make it a bit more obvious, they're the ones that I'd done earlier. Yeah. Right, number 2 we'll put there, and the other number 2 we'll put there. Well, in fact, just to make it even simpler, right, the ones with number 2, the ones that I've done in the video earlier, we make 3 of. Okay, so we don't get confused, he said. Right, one thing I got to remember, even if I compiled this, built this map and compiled it, saved it, whatever, they still wouldn't show up because I haven't saved my package. So quickly save my package, put that down, rebuild, This might take a little while. This is just a very simple map, which obviously a brush for the bottom and all that, and a light, and I've got a couple of weapon lockers here just to be on the safe side. Not weapon lockers, pickups, that's right. So we'll just save that and play. I'm just on the normal deathmatch game, if I remember rightly. There we go. Oh look, there's one of my old bolters. These are the ones I made earlier. Okay, now we'll have a look at that again in a minute. Now these are the ones with the not so many chunks. Yeah, bang, bang, bang. Okay, now if I remember rightly, if that's the one that, let's just get the editor open. Right, we're looking for, let's see if we can find, which one is it? Is it that one? V1, right, that's that one with 48 chunks. Now this one is S1, that's the one with 938 chunks. Okay, so it's the one on the right. Let's just go into game again. Alright, the one on the left, right, if you watch it, when I shoot it and it explodes, everything flies off nicely. Oh, yeah. Let me go get something with a bit of impact damage, shall we? There we go, everything flies off nicely. Now, if I watched correctly on the first time we saw this, it sort of stuttered. Alright, now watch the chunks. You see that? It's sort of like paused. Now that could be because I'm recording, but it could also be because there's a lot too many chunks for the effect. Now these ones looking fairly nice there. That one actually split quite nicely, I think, and if I remember rightly, that is the V1 with the Veroni chunks. That's this one here, 52 chunks, and split quite nicely. Now that's just everything at the default settings, which is what I'm just going to leave it at the moment. Now if you want to play with different settings, obviously try not to do it actually in the map. Okay, what you can do is double click on it in the content browser, and in here you've got damage thresholds, damage spreads, lifetimes. Now I just leave everything at the default settings at the moment, okay, but obviously up to you to see what you want. You might want to change the lifetime min max, you know, if you want the bits to, I think, last a little bit longer. You might want to set the damage threshold to something higher than 1, might be an idea. But these are all things that you can play around with. I'm not, like I say, it's just basic, get the stuff in and have a bit of fun. Okay, so we'll leave it at that, and in the next videos we're going to be looking at a few other options within Physics Lab and obviously using it here in UDK. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.